What's up, guys? My name is Jerry, and today's video is going to be on the Detroit Pistons, and we're going to be talking about how they set the tone for this season, and we're going to jump right into the video. Now, last night was the very first game for the Detroit Pistons. They went up against the Orlando Magic, and they were able to come out with the W. So for right now, we can say that the Detroit Pistons, we're undefeated, and we're 1-0. And before we get any further into the video, I just want to say that this was a quality win for the Detroit Pistons. A lot of people might think the Orlando Magic is trash, but the Magic, they have a pretty decent roster, and they have some hybrids over there on their team, and we saw just how good they are when they came out and they slapped us right in the face. So I just feel like this was a quality win for the Detroit Pistons, and they were going up against some quality talent. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about a few things that I saw from our Pistons that set the tone and let me know what kind of season this is going to be for us. And the first thing that popped out to me is the way our lottery picks played. Jalen Duren and Jaden Ivey, I think they were fantastic, and they both came out and they both had great individual games. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to start with Jaden Ivey. Now, last night, Jaden Ivey, he reminded everyone why he was the 5th overall pick in this year's draft. He had a fantastic rookie debut. He came out and dropped 19 points, 4 assists. He went 8 of 15 from the field and 2 of 4 from the three-point line. So this was a all-around solid game by Jaden Ivey. And the number one thing that stood out for me when it came to Jaden Ivey's performance is that he's going to have a high impact on the offensive and on the defensive side of the ball, but especially offensively. And let me tell you guys what I saw from Jaden Ivey last night. The pressure that he puts on the defense is going to be great for everyone on the Detroit Pistons. And for example, I'm talking about there were a couple times last night where Jaden Ivey, he got a loose ball, or he got the rebound, or he caught the outlet pass. And when I tell you, he gets down the court so fast, you blink your eye, he's on one end of the court from the other in just a blink of an eye. He has some unreal speed, and when he's doing that, it's leading to easy layups for him. And then when the defense tries to stop him in transition, easy buckets for his teammates. So I think Jaden Ivey, we're going to see that from him all season long, just constantly putting pressure on the defense, and it's going to open up so many great things for his teammates. So we know Jaden Ivey, we know he's going to play well in transition, but he also showed us that he can play well in the half court, and he can play within the Detroit Pistons offensive system. And everyone was saying that him and Cade Cunningham was not going to be able to share the court together, but them guys looked great in the half court together last night. And I just saw Jaden Ivey playing within the offense. He wasn't forcing anything, taking exactly what the defense was giving him. When they was going under on him, he knocked down his two out of 4 3-pointers, and then he just kept making the right pass. So I really love what I saw from Jaden Ivey last night, and he had a great rookie debut. And I also loved what I saw from Jalen Duren. Now, Jalen Duren, he also had a fantastic rookie debut last night. Coming off the bench, he had 14 points, 10 rebounds, and he had 3 blocks. And getting 3 blocks in your first game of your NBA career coming off the bench, that is big time to me. And just like Jaden Ivey, I feel like Jalen Duren, he also has a high impact on the game of basketball, and it comes on offense and on defense. And what I saw from Jalen Duren last night, offensively, he's going to be in the right place at the right time. He's going to run the floor very hard, and he's going to hit the offensive glass. All the points that he scored, none of those plays were drawn up for him. He just set screens effectively, rolled hard to the rim, he ran the floor, and he hit the offensive glass. So you love that when a guy is able to score 14 points and none of the plays were designed for him. And then the 10 rebounds, that is fantastic. And what I am truly excited about is what he did defensively. And he wasn't just blocking shots, he was contesting shots at the rim, and then also on the perimeter, just hedging and switching when he had to. He just looked like a very solid player, youngest player in the NBA, but he looked like a man-child out there. So I'm very excited for Jalen Duren and Jaden Ivey. And I think these two guys right there, I think their energy level was so high last night, and it spread spread to the rest of the Detroit Pistons, and it also spread to the crowd. So that's the number one thing I noticed from our squad last night. And the next thing, and we talk about this a lot on the channel, but the Detroit Pistons, they're learning how to win. We talk about this on the channel all the time. The Pistons, they have all the talent right now. The biggest thing is development. How quickly are these guys going to develop and learn how to win? And I feel like last night that was a huge step in the right direction, because if we remember at the beginning of this game, the Orlando Magic, they came out and they punched us right in the mouth, and they got a big very early. And when you're a young team and you get down that big that early in the game, it can be hard to come back. And what I love about this comeback for the Detroit Pistons is that it was sparked by the second unit, when Kevin Knox and Killian Hayes, when Jalen Duren and Corey Joseph, when these guys came into the game, they played a huge role in helping the Pistons come back. They came in, they was playing very intense defense, they were getting fast break opportunities. And then I don't know if you guys what sparked it for me, or the first thing I noticed when the Pistons started to come back, was when Jalen Duren, he got that steal, he passed the ball to Corey Joseph, and then he got that poster dunk. And then after that, the energy was just all throughout the building. So I love that they learned how to come back. And then also, so they came back, and then at the end of the game, the Orlando Magic looked like they were putting pressure on the Pistons, looking like they were about to steal the game, and the Pistons were able to hold on. And Isaiah Stewart, he hit that big time shot in the corner, and I feel like this right here, this is a good sign for the Detroit Pistons. And the other thing I noticed is that the basketball was being spread out to everyone. So last night, the Detroit Pistons, they had 5 guys in double figures, and I think it could have easily been 6, but Saddiq Bey, last night, he only put up 5 shots, but nonetheless, having 5 guys in double figures, that's pretty impressive. And Bojan Bogdanovic, he had a team high, he had 24 points. Jaden Ivey poured in 19 points. Cade Cunningham, he had 16 points. And then our 2 bigs, Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren, they had 14 points apiece. And while we're on the topic of scoring, I think this is another important factor that I saw from the Detroit Pistons. Last night, they poured in 14 3-pointers. And if they're going to hit 14 threes a night, they're going to be competitive in every ball game that they played in. Last season, 3-point shooting was one of the biggest areas that the Detroit Pistons struggled in. So I feel like them hitting 14 threes and shooting 37% from the 3-point line, that's pretty impressive. So I love that. And then just watching the Detroit Pistons offense, it was heavy ball movement. It wasn't one guy just dominating the basketball. We seen Jaden Ivey with the ball in his hand, Cade Cunningham, Bojan Bogdanovic, and then off the bench, Killian Hayes, he was running the show, and he poured in a bunch of assists. Cade Cunningham had 10 assists. So the Detroit Pistons just sharing the basketball around. Everyone was getting touches, and they had 5 guys in double figures. So I'm really loving what I'm seeing from the Detroit Pistons off this first game, and I think this is going to be a pretty solid season for the Pistons, and I could definitely see them making that play-in tournament. But it's just one game, and that one game got me excited, and we can say that we undefeated. But that's going to be it for this video. I feel like the Detroit Pistons, they just set the tone for the season. They played hard, they played intense on the defensive side of the ball. If you agree or disagree, comment down below, and then subscribe for more weekly content. We do this all the time, man, and that's curtains.